students who, for instance, are participating in our STEM path with Franklin Park Conservatory, they not only get the science, social studies, reading, math, right, all of that content, but they're able to actually use it in a very real world experience type of fashion.
Summer experience starts June 20th and will take place over the course of 4 to 6 weeks.
We are grateful that Junior Achievement leaned in to support us in getting LeVar Burton here to support our staff.
Take a look, it's in a book, the reading rainbow. Give yourselves a hand, y'all.
As a school district, it is mission critical for us to leverage the power of partnerships. Today, we have over 150 community partners that have joined hands with us to make sure that we are providing access to our families.
An opportunity to have a leg up and get those kids ready for school so that the first day they've got their bus pass, they've got their school supplies, and they got their backpack and they're ready to go. This fair means the world to all of us.
It really brings our community together. It really helps our families feel welcome and excited to come back to school. And this is the momentum we need to carry out through the rest of the year.
This event is actually amazing. There are so many different partners here. Every healthcare entity that we have is here, and we're all working together to be able to put everybody in one place on a beautiful day like this and just be able to identify and help everyone that walks through these lines.
To be able to reach 10,000, 13,000 people in one day is more than what we can do throughout the entire year throughout outreach. The diversity of the folks that are here, the amount of interest that people have in the Red Cross and all of our community partners is really encouraging and inspiring.
There is strength in partnerships, and we want Columbus City Schools to know that we are a partner both in the classroom and outside of the classroom. We share a common goal, and that goal is student success. And we want these students to succeed, and we would love to be a part of their success as they go throughout this school year and school years to come.
It just makes me so proud to be a Columbus City School graduate, proud of all the great teachers and staff of Columbus City Schools that are out here making it happen, and just really proud of all the partners that are here, from after-school programs, all the city teams that are here, really all kind of stacking hands, and I think showing the kids and families of this community that we're all in this together, and we're going to do everything in our power to make sure we have an awesome, awesome school year.
Family support is critical at CCS, and we have a wealth of resources for our families.
The mission of the Columbus Recreation and Parks Department is to connect the residents of this community through nature, wellness, and creativity. It's all about being able to reach the students as they are out in the community as well as in the classroom.
The growth of this city is going to be incredible, but we're not just interested in being bigger, we're interested in being better. And that's what today is all about, to make sure our kids and our families are successful. I think this is going to be the best school year ever.
It is our goal and a priority for us to support the whole child, which includes the whole school and the whole community. So we really want to provide those wraparound supports to our students and families and provide them with the resources that they need so that their students can come to school every day ready to learn and ready to succeed.
City League is so important because it's just important to keep kids active and stay out the streets and do good.
It's kind of funny. Tejan came into us this year, but his dad, I actually coached in Little League. He played for my Columbus Day Stars.
Oh, get a break.
Coach Bell, he mean a lot to me. That's my dude. And he actually out here doing this for us. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be here.
One of the things I think that separates Tejan is his work ethic and his attitude. You know, he always wants to be first. He wins in the sprints. He studies the film. Like, he spends more time on the film than some of my coaches do. You know, he studies the game of football, and he's always asking questions. And you know, I think that separates him a lot about his commitment to the game of football and trying to be the best he can be. He scored 5 touchdowns the first game. You know, I think he had 7 touches, and he had 5 touchdowns. And then the second game, he had maybe 4 touches, and he had 3 touchdowns. In our third game, he had 2 more touchdowns. The other part that's exceptional about him is that he's a pretty good defensive player.
Me and my teammates, we play a lot, and it's all about fun for real. That's all it's about, having fun. Coming out with a good attitude, positive energy, no negative. That's how we push each other.
You know, he has over 3.5 or, you know, close to a 3.6 in the classroom. So I was asking him, I said, why is it important for you to get good grades? And he said, because that's what they expected of me and my family.
Without good grades, you ain't going nowhere. You need education first to get in any school, for any sports. If you're gonna be a student athlete, you gotta have good grades. I wanna go to college because not too many people in my family went to college, and I wanna be one of them people that go forward, not just to go to college, just to say I went to college. I wanna go to college to prove something to a lot of people.
He's coachable. He's always asking questions. You know, I give him direction, he follows it, he listens. Yeah, he definitely has the potential to be a big-time football player in the Division I level.
I want to think about entrepreneur. I want to play in NFL, but if that don't go well, my backup plan was entrepreneur.
College coaches should recruit Tejan Burns because he has world-class speed. He's a culture changing type young man. So he definitely gonna bring the energy and the leadership and the commitment to your program. So if you're out there, you D1s, D2s, you need to come see him.
College coaches should recruit me because I'm a good teammate. I'm good in the classroom, good education. I work hard. I'm nice.
Okay, welcome everyone. We'll call the October 26, 2023 meeting of the Audit and Accountability Committee to order.
Hey, Ms. Beckerly?
Here.
Ms. Vera?
Here.
Mr. Grant?
Here.
Mr. Vajon? Ms. Reyes? Mr. Jordan?
Here.
Mr. Daniel? You have a quorum.
Thank you. The first order of business on the agenda is to approve the minutes from the last meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Okay, Ms. Vera?
Yes.
Mr. Grant?
Yes.
Mr. Jordan?
Yes.
Ms. Beckerly?
Yes.
Motion carries. Okay, Madam Chair, I'd like to request that we move the safety and security risk management presentation up in our agenda. Our presenter has another meeting later this afternoon and will have to leave A&A early. We can begin that presentation and review slides 1, 2, and 3 in our public meeting and then adjourn into executive session, cover the remaining presentation. Our presenter today is Chris Baker, Director of Safety and Security. Welcome, Chris.
Good afternoon. Thank you.
I'll turn it over to you for the first 3 slides.
So we're glad to be here to share this information with you today. Go to the next slide. You know, of course, as we know, our safety, our mission is to ensure that we have the right dedicated staff to ensure excellent services that impact the entire school district, as well as believing our safety impacts the effective learning environments and our relationships that we have with our students. We have a lot of key initiatives that I would like to share with you, some that are moving from into the previous part of last school year into where we are today. Some initiatives that I would like to talk about is our Evolve high-speed weapon detection systems, which we deployed on February 21st at all of our high schools. And what it has actually shown us is a tremendous reduction in the attempts of bringing in weapons that will do harm to our students, such as your...
I think we're on slide 4, so let's, is that where you have us?
I'm so sorry, my page got stuck again.
Not a problem, not a problem. Just want to make sure we didn't go too far.
Yes, you're correct.
So we'll make a motion.
Here. Oh, slide 4 is.
Yeah, so this slide is basically just giving another statement that shows that what we're doing and that our efforts throughout the district is that to continue to make sure everyone understands that safety is everyone's responsibility.
Okay, thanks. All right, now we have to move to go into executive session.
Do you have the?
At the bottom of the agenda there. Want me to read it? Okay, pursuant to Ohio Revised Code, Section 121.22G6, it is recommended that the Audit and Accountability Committee of the Board of Education move into executive session to discuss details relative to the security arrangements and emergency response protocols for the school district. Since disclosure of the matters discussed would reasonably be expected to jeopardize the security of the school district.
Okay, so you can.
Second.
You have to move. Can you move that we?
There's a motion,
Yeah.
and then I second.
All right, we need second. I think somebody other than, okay. Moved by Vice President and seconded by Tim. I think it has to be a member of the committee.
Okay.
Mr.
All
Grant,
right, so we will move into executive session.
call roll.
Okay.
Mr. Grant?
Yes.
Mr. Jordan?
Yes.
Ms. Beckerly?
Yes.
And Ms. Vera?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thinking of future things.
I'm able to give my students projects and experiences with recording, with mixing, with mastering, with post-production, with audio for video games, with live sound. All of those things, beat making, songwriting, and then they go on to become professionals in that, and they end up knowing much more than me, which is the goal. That's what I want to happen.
You should join this program because it's just a great chance to learn and grow. You have to start somewhere, and as you continue to build, you will become something. There's just no doubt about it.
If you have a knack for being creative, like if you're that kid that used to be in classes just, you know, tapping pens or just like beatboxing, if music and the process of creating music is for you, this is that program, because we have a good blend of people. It's such a great environment. It's definitely my favorite part of the day. For times where even if I miss the first half of the day for like an appointment or something like that, I still want to be here for Career Center.
Wanting to learn more about music and what it all really takes, and even like the business aspect.
It's a great experience. It's not just with producing. Like Mr. Van gives you a lot of opportunities to learn. He had a lot of speakers come in, and he gives us a lot of internship opportunities like radio stations.
It's a really good opportunity to learn how to create your own music if that's something you're interested in. Also, there's a lot of coding and technology.
You should join the program because you're going to be around people who want to do what you want to do and have the same interests as you. That's going to make you grow as a musician, an artist, and as an engineer.
My vision blurry, can't see the pain with my vision. It's probably cause I've been feeling division. There ain't no blood, but it's spilling. My body aching, revealing thoughts and emotions I feel. Stuck in a cycle, I'm spinning. Torn all the cards I was dealing with. It's hard to smile when you feel like your happiness pilling. Like you know that the pain will hurt, but it just seems so appealing. It's hard to meditate when all the pain is still healing. Like all emotions tearing at you.
I just appreciate the fact that the people who came before me and the administration and everybody, all the teams were able to come together and make this possible for kids who want to go into this field and other fields at the Career Center.
This is what kind of built me up for real. I've tried other districts, but Columbus City has definitely put the most opportunities in my hands.
This program at Fort Hays Career Center is such a unique program. I've been all over the country and I talked to a lot of music technology teachers and audio production teachers. And one of the things that makes this program so unique among all of those great programs out there is that we are one of the only programs that teach both the electronic music beat making side. If you're a student who wants to be a part of this Career Center program or any Career Center program at Fort Hays, there's a spot for you in the Career Center. All you have to do is sign up your sophomore year. There's an application through Infinite Campus for Columbus City School students. You can also join this program if you go to Westerville, Upper Arlington, or Grandview schools, and you would go through your school to fill out an application. You can come and be a part of this program.
This is the first annual event that we've partnered with Columbus Police Department on a one-day basketball clinic. Officer Michael with the Columbus Police Department, he reached out to me to promote some positivity with police interaction with the Linden community, to get their faces out, because these are officers that patrol the Linden area. And the youth see them and understand that you don't have to feel any type of apprehensive or negativity if you run into them.
One, I love playing ball. I'm from this community. I went to Gladstone for elementary school, and my dad actually lived out here, so spent a lot of time out here. I went to church at 19th and Cleveland. Spent a lot of time up on the north side. It's just really a good opportunity to always, come back to the community, serve, allow our youth to see the human side of just being a police officer.
The vast majority are here to do what they're supposed to do, and that's protect and serve. Little orange ball can take you places and open up doors. 2021, 2022 school year, that was over $300,000 in scholarship between 7 seniors. Some for basketball and some not for basketball.
I started playing ball at like 5 years old. I went to St. Charles, played ball there, got some opportunities for the next level to do college. Ended up taking an academic at The Ohio State University, put in the work. Do the things you need to do, practice your rebounding, practice your shooting, and then when you think you're done and tired, do some more. Make sure you're taking care of your academics, because a lot of times, as it was for me, the academics is what will take you to those next levels and get you where you need to go.
My name is Lolita Vaughn, and I am a special ed instructional assistant for Columbus City Schools. I have been employed with the district for 11 plus years now. I chose to work for Columbus City School because I like helping children and families. Coming from a background of being a home child care provider for 12 years, it just fit.
They see themselves when they look at me. Most of our students, are African American, and there's not a lot of males in education. Me being in that role, pre-K teacher, being one of the first teachers that they see, I know I affect change. They see it, they see a positive role model, they see a positive male, positive figure in their life.
This past graduation class was my first class of 6th graders. So they graduated last year, and one of the area high schools has a really cool tradition where they ask their former teachers to come back and give their diploma, and I was the only middle school teacher there for this particular student, and so I got to hand her diploma, and that was probably the most memorable experience.
The district has actually provided me a lot of tools and resources. I have the latest technology currently in my classroom with the Clever Touch board. I also have the ability to get my master's degree through Columbus City Schools and take additional classes for my coursework for absolutely free and incorporate it into my teacher schedule.
I chose to work in the district because I grew up in the inner city school, and I met a school nurse that was a nurse of color, and I wanted to be in a school district that had more students that were minority, so they could see that they could succeed in whatever field they chose to be in.
They have continuous trainings and workshops that we can do at our pace online through Public School Works. They also have a no-cost out-of-pocket college tuition that we can go to school to obtain our degree.
Everybody is cheering for everybody. Everybody is rooting for everybody. Everybody has one goal, and that's to educate our students. Everything focuses around our students, and that's the biggest thing. That's why I'm in Columbus. That's why I wouldn't leave Columbus. There's a lot of room for growth. You're going to continue to learn. You're going to meet so many people. You're going to connect with people. If you desire to be an administrator, you can go that route. If you desire to be in a TOSA position, a teacher on special assignment, you can go that route. You're going to grow.
You get a lot of different diverse pockets in Columbus, and I think it says a lot with the district as well. Whatever community you find yourself teaching in, you are impacting a certain community. I find myself in the east side impacting a certain, and I know friends in the north and the west side that are doing different work with different populations of students that it's really rewarding.
If you love working with students and family from all walks of life, then come join our team. The opportunity to be a part of a great team is here. I cannot say enough about friendships that I have made with so many amazing people. My family has grown, and I love it. I can't wait to meet you, and welcome to our team.
My name is Sandra Santos, and I am the proud principal of World Language Middle School for Columbus City Schools.
My choice was deliberate. I'm a product of Columbus City Schools, so I understood from early on that Columbus City Schools is a caring community of educators. As an instructional leader, I have an opportunity to form a student's future. And so through forming it, I work with social workers, teachers, parents. And so as the instructional leader, I can implement various instruction intervention that will help to support students.
So one of the specific resources that I thought was super powerful for me to be a first-year principal was a principal coach. The principal coach role really helped me in the supports of budgeting, knowing how to manage my time, knowing how to support my community, knowing how to build that culture and climate, and knowing how to get my students ready, because even in middle school, as a building principal, my kids have to be ready for the next level, which is high school.
So I always try to let my kids know that they are one of my kids, and I'm going to treat them as if they were my own. And so I think just having that sense of community and giving them a sense of belonging, and I always let them know too that even when they leave me, they will always be one of my students. And so no matter how far removed or how far away they grow older in life, it will still always be one of my kids. And so just that sense of community and sense of belonging, and letting them know that they matter and that they're important, even when they're not at their best sometimes, they still matter and they're still very important.
Columbus is a great place to live and work. Our town has grown into a major urban area. Columbus is the 14th largest city in the country, and so we've grown into a major urban area. However, it still has that small town feel. It has something for everyone.
The diversity in Columbus, whether you're in the city or in the surrounding suburbs, diversity makes us stronger. And so I think that's one of the things that makes Columbus very special. The opportunities that Columbus has afforded to me, and they took a chance on me. I say take that leap of faith and come to Columbus.
I would say you owe it to yourself to work for Columbus City Schools. You will have a rich experience of whatever you choose to do. If you want to work as a teacher, if you want to work at the building level as a secretary, or if you want a central office position, it is a great place to come to network, to hone your skills, and to not only that, but to pour into people.
We are educating future doctors, lawyers, educators, and entrepreneurs. Our students are very important. I tell my students daily that they were great before me and they continue to be great after me, and I mean that because our students have made my teachers great and they have made me great as well.
One of the most things I appreciate about the City League is just everybody just show love. They care about me. Some of the players I enjoy playing against this year is Devin Swain, Cortez Freeman, the two guards from West, and Trey Perry. And I say that because they're high, competitive players, and they give me a matchup.
I really do feel in the City League we have some of the best coaches. Me being a City League alum myself, I get to relive those moments every day from practice to games, and I'm very proud to be a head coach in the Columbus City League.
I shout out George Harold, Adrian Francis, and Lamarion, because them just like older brothers to me on the court.
A lot of his success is credit to his teammates, but it's also a credit to his leadership. We're all like brothers, and they all want to see him succeed as well.
Some things I appreciate about Coach Chuck is just how he is on and off the court. Like on the court, he tells us it's the difference between liking a game and loving the game. Don't be a part-time basketball player. Then off the court, he's a really big role model because he's just not a coach to me, he's a dad. Just someone I can call on.
Dominique Akins is a special kid, kind of knew his family off the court. And the relationship me and him have is bigger than basketball. We talk about a lot of things outside of basketball, and just to see him evolving in these last 2 years and what he's doing this year just goes to the testament of the type of kid he is. Very hard-nosed, and he's very special to this program, especially after losing to Mr. Basketball and team that's won a city and district championship. And Walnut Ridge has always had the next guy ready to step up, and for him to be doing what he's doing in his junior year makes me feel proud to say that Walnut Ridge is in good hands.
I say I want to start engineering just because that's just something I've just been looking forward to since I was a young kid. And that's what my brother went to college for, so he just inspired me to do that. When college coaches come see me, they see that I can score the ball well, I can pass it, play defense. I got a good attitude.
College coaches should recruit Dominique Akins because some of the things he's able to do and escape out of trouble, you can't teach that. What he's doing this season, averaging over 29 points in his junior year, seeing double teams being physical with him, I think he has all the tools to be successful at the next level. I know a lot of coaches probably spend a lot of time preparing for him, and the biggest jump from his sophomore year to junior year is he's able to adjust to that. So I think college coaches will just leave Walden Ridge after watching Dominique play and just see the ultimate competitor he is on both ends of the floor. You know, he's doing big things now in his junior year, so I can only imagine what's going to take place in his senior year. I think he will be ready to, once he touches the floor freshman year, to make an immediate impact to whatever university is lucky to have him.
Welcome back, CCS!
Our story begins in the 1950s. That's when a boy on an Italian vacation with his family brought home as many as 10 common European wall lizards to his home in Cincinnati, Ohio. He released them into his backyard, and over the years, the population in the Cincinnati area exploded. The lizards have now made their way to Columbus, specifically Columbus Downtown High School's parking lot. The issue here? As an invasive species, they could disrupt the ecosystem in Ohio and could have a negative impact on native wildlife. With that happening outside, students inside the school jumped at the opportunity to catch and study these lizards, working with Ohio Wesleyan University, the Ohio State University, and the Ohio Division of Wildlife. Mr. Hatoski's junior and senior environmental science classes are taking on the project. They were trained by OSU's Greg Lips and OWU's Eric Gangloff to master capturing techniques and handling practices.
This is a unique opportunity. Very rarely do we catch an invasive species before it spreads far out. You know, once it spreads throughout the city of Columbus, we won't be able to do anything about it. But here it's just in one little location. So it gives us an opportunity to try to capture them all and keep them from spreading throughout Columbus and further. And what we've done is we've removed all the vegetation from around the parking lot. And the lizards were very hard to capture when there was all that vegetation. They could hide down in it. So now it's barren. But we've given them ceramic tiles, laid those out all over through here to give some artificial cover, a place for the lizards to hide, and that's actually what they like. They like rock more than they like vegetation to hide in. So we're going to keep doing this and keep checking over and over again until we're certain that we don't have any lizards remaining here. And if we accomplish that, it'll be one of the very few examples we have of successfully eradicating an invasive species before it takes hold.
I ain't gonna lie, I was like, you know, lizards, you know, they're part of the way, but then I, you know, discovered there was like rare lizards. I was like, oh, okay, this might be something that we may be able to do, just to learn, you know, more about lizards in general.
And as you're walking along, sort of thinking like a lizard, looking at any places where like the sun comes through and makes a nice like bright spot, or even in some of the leaf litter here, would be a good spot for them to go if they weren't necessarily, if the tiles weren't warm enough yet, or if they just hadn't chosen to go under one.
Quickly into their first search, lizards were spotted in their preferred habitat, cracks in the walls.
Dude, where? You're lying. Oh, look at it from here.
Did you get one?
Right there. Oh, that looks this one. But I'm just telling.
They of course love the crevices between the bricks or any cracks in any walls or foundation. It gives them a nice tight space to feel comfortable, to stay warm, to avoid elements or predators. The more of those places that we can remove on these sites, not only put the lizards a bit more out in the open where we can catch them and move them, but take away places where they could hibernate and overwinter and continue to be successful here.
But that wasn't the only place they were spotted. Researchers found more in the leaf litter along the fence.
When we do catch them, we put them in socks. Like they have air, they don't die. And it's just more comfortable for them so they're not suffocating or anything or squished.
I told you that was good. Teamwork makes the dream work.
That was a good plan.
That was a good plan.
But it was interesting. He knew where his hole was.
He knew exactly where he was going.
Yeah.
Oh, that one's pretty too.
It's another male. Like, they got like little checkers almost.
Yeah, they got a nice design.
Don't they? I know, they're really pretty.
It's really alive.
Yeah, he's really alive.
Can I hold it?
No, I don't want to let it go of him, but
Jump.
put your finger out and watch. And watch. You can get to feel his claws here. Watch. Feel the claws on his toes. Can you feel that? You can just see a heartbeat inside there. There it is. See the little heartbeat?
Yeah.
Thump, 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 thump. Yep. One of the approved methods
Why is
for.
breathing different when it's on his back?
Oh, I think he's stressed. He's probably very stressed out. So he's breathing. Do you want to see him?
I gotta look. Why I don't be seeing these lizards?
No, I'm not gonna let you hold him. I'll do this, and you can feel his feet grab onto you. I'm gonna hold on to him.
Okay, okay.
Do they jump?
Yes. They jump and they run. All right. Cool. Well, it's been great to have the students involved. It's always fun for them to get to see what's living around them and also expose them to research. Not many high school students get to see that kind of work, so it's been a lot of fun.
Right there.
Oh.
It's a nice spot.
Oh yeah, he's pretty. And so, will they bite?
We'll find out.
Nope.
No?
Not now, it's freaking out.
Oh, you can really see the blues down there. See him on his belly?
Oh, right there.
Jesse,
right there,
Jesse.
right there, right there. Ooh, right there.
Got him.
All right. That was a big one, wasn't it?
No, this is a small one.
Soon, they almost had more than they could handle.
Unless you think you can grab him.
Did you catch it?
I don't think so.
I chose to work in the district because I grew up in Columbus City Schools. I loved my teachers. I had very compassionate, very caring, very nurturing teachers, and I had a wonderful experience. So therefore, I wanted to give back to the community because I emulate just like the teachers did for me.
I have had an amazing experience as a professional in Columbus City Schools. I had a previous work experience in the business sector, and I also worked for another school district. And I can honestly say that the most professional growth that I've ever gained in my career has been through this district. From my literacy expertise that I was able to accomplish in my time here, that occurred in Columbus City Schools. From the leadership experience and promotion and increasing my knowledge just around leading a team of people, again, occurred in Columbus City Schools.
I've always believed in giving back. I come from a family of teachers on my mom's side and military personnel on my dad's side, so we've always believed in giving back, and Columbus City Schools seemed like the perfect opportunity to give back and kind of help shape the future of the whole city I've been living in. And the city has provided so much for me, so I wanted to provide something back to the city. The most rewarding experience has been able to give our students one-to-one device. Each student in Columbus City Schools has a device today. The pandemic affected us all in different ways. We're still somewhat paying for it, social emotional issues for us personally, as well as our families and the families we serve. But the most rewarding experience I would say that has come out of it is our ability to provide for our students. We were never a one-to-one district. It was part of my dream for 3 to 5 years. We made it happen in 3 months. The leadership intern at Lyndon McKinley wrote to me and said, hey, this was like Christmas for some of our students. They've never unwrapped a new present. And that, made me tear up. At the same time, I was like, wow, we are able to make that impact. The team worked very hard to make that impact. And I was like, that is what I wanted to tell.
I feel we impact the students' success because we work with parents and families and students to ensure that any problem, any mediation that we can do to work with the building principal and district leaders to resolve their concerns.
I moved here from India 24 years ago, and I've made it home. I've had 2 children here, raised them here. So many startups. The ecosystem is so rich for technology that I've never had to look for a job, So it is so rich with technology, and it's important for me being in a city like that. And I feel right now in my role, it's especially important for our students because they have tremendous amount of opportunity to go make their careers in technology in the city right now.
For someone considering a career in Columbus City Schools, I would say go for it. This is the best place, and I can honestly say that from the bottom of my heart, to work. Columbus City Schools is a family. You're not going to get a better support system. You're not going to get a better district that's going to encourage your development and really actually provide you the tools to increase your knowledge, to increase your leadership, and to increase your impact.
We are the largest district in the state, so therefore we have more opportunities for educators, and we have a lot more support and a lot more chances for someone, if they want to move up or change careers inside the district, they can.
So as you can see, we love genre fusion, we love pop, we love rock, we love gospel, we love spirituals. You heard spirituals this morning, but we also love jazz. Anybody a fan of the late Chick Corea? The late Chick Corea? Yes, he's one of our favorites as well. Also in the early founding years of the String Queens, we decided, actually Elise decided, Spain is one of her favorite pieces by Chick Corea. Literally brings her to tears. I think the very first time we played it, in rehearsal, you had a moment, which is beautiful. Sitting on stage. If you haven't heard Spain, you're in for a treat, but if you have, we hope you enjoy our arrangement of Chick Corea's Spain.
hope that the students feel a sense of accomplishment. I hope they feel proud about what they created. I hope they feel like they, really can do anything.
I want to dance for the rest of my life because I've been doing it up until now, so I still want to do it forever.
You taught me this in Dance 1, that dance is like a universal language.
And over time, I've really realized that my role here has become not necessarily teaching them about the art form of dance, but using dance as a way to understand yourself in the world. And when you understand yourself, then you are able to do more.
So I can say personally, the connection you have with your students and that you want them to do better. You want them to push. You don't want them to fall like under any category. You want them to push forward, and her sense of being a community, I'm about to cry. You can really see that. You want to be a community and you push for that. You push for your students so they can have a community. I told you Dance Ensemble is family. So you push for that. You push for the family. You push for us being together, even though times may be hard, the being there, present in time and space, was really something that I appreciate.
Life is gonna go back to normal, and what you gonna do when you look back from 4 years in high school and you know you didn't still push yourself?
Enjoy the moments, enjoy what you have, be here, be grateful for what you have, because we couldn't have done this, we didn't have to do this, or we were probably wouldn't be able to do this.
COVID kind of makes you do things you don't want to do, or forces you outside of your comfort zone a little bit. Be open, be different. It's okay to not just think everything's gonna be one way. It's okay to change.
I grow every day, so it's not like I'm just stuck in one position. I've learned a lot about myself through this whole experience.
It takes confidence to be a leader, to be able to step out in front of people and say, this is the way that this should be done. Because you have to be able to take criticism from people that doing that as well, because everyone's looking to you.
If you ask for things, if you are open and you're willing to put yourself out there just a little bit, that things will come to you.
Challenges do not change who you are. They reveal who you are. And what this has revealed is that during this time of great challenge, creativity still happens. Creativity still emerges. And that has been a very cool thing. So this challenge has not changed who we are, it's just revealed who we are.
My name is William Stinchcombe, and I've been with the Columbus City Schools for 23 years.
My name is Mr. Dorsey Birdsong. I'm a safety and security specialist.
My name is Anita Roman, and I am a Columbus City Schools bus driver.
My name is Samuel Gonzalez. I'm a food service manager currently at Briggs High School.
I know that if I'm not there every day and on time, that student may not have a ride to school. And that weighs on me heavily. And I take pride in knowing that my students can set their clock on me. I'm always, it takes a lot for me not to come to work. It's important to come to work every day, be on time, because we may be the only way that student gets to school.
Seeing the kids years later and having them come up to me and say how thankful and grateful they were and happy that, I kept them safe in the district, and, that I can't retire or leave the district until their kids graduate.
This was one of the best decisions I've made in my life. I didn't expect to live for this, but I love being part of the Columbus City School as a family. I just think because the building represents our districts, for me to see how clean the building is, I can take pride in my effort, and to put the cleaning and the organizing of the building, it just makes me feel a level of pride.
Peaceful mind can accomplish a lot of things. And when a student is hungry, their mind is oftentimes on what the next meal is going to be. In an indirect way, we affect the students in the kitchen. They can accomplish what they have to in the classroom. And for them to accomplish that, oftentimes that's going to better their situation for themselves, their family, and their community. So in a sense, helping the student in an indirect manner with the food is something that I really enjoy.
Columbus, Ohio has so much to offer our youth. The growth you can obtain from being a part of this district is huge. There is such diversity and learning experience happening throughout our K-12 buildings.
I love to see the excitement in the kids' faces when they know they can start school the very next day. So it's exciting for the families. So I think it's very impactful because it gives them that first start to, learning and growing.
I've been working with kids all my life. Coming here, meeting the students, the relationships that I've built over the years is just phenomenal. I'm seeing students, still see students to this day that thank me. Just, thanks for everything you've done. Thanks for helping provide a safe learning environment. Thank you for the talks, and they're really appreciative.
The district provides training throughout the school year and a lot of information that's constantly updated, and it's always available to us. So that's very helpful in being able to, provide the best service to, our students and parents. The diversity in Columbus and inclusion, it's unlike any other place, really. There's so many different cultures and you come in contact with just on a daily basis, with our students and parents and teachers.
I've really enjoyed the last few years working here at CCS. It's got great benefits, the people have been great, and I wouldn't change it for anything. I've had other job offers, but I've turned them down because I just really like the people, and I like working here.
Run to your computer and apply online. This is one of the greatest kept secrets in the school district, really. This is a great job. Just apply online, it's easy. We have, our training is excellent, and we'll do everything we can to help you get through, and you won't regret it, I promise.
I used to get calls all the time from people asking me about the station. What kind of music do you play? And the canned format was adult album alternative. And so I asked the music director, what does that actually mean? And he said, we play the good stuff. That was the end of his explanation.
Well, AAA music is heavy on the singer-songwriters and the Americana, but we also include blues music, jazz, other styles like world music.
It's not the same songs every other hour. And in 90.5's case, it's not even the same songs each week.
WCB is pretty unique with all the variety of music that we can play and the variety of shows that we have.
We've had John Prine, Ziggy Marley, Warren Haynes from the Allman Brothers. We have had Tedeschi Trucks. The list goes on and on.
The thing that we have at WCBE is experts in music that know where the good stuff is.
Homemade, locally produced programming is what we're all about, and just sort of sitting there and grooving out in a radio station, knowing that I'm doing the same thing with thousands of listeners across the state. I really dig that. I dig that sort of concept.
We're all over the map. It's great music. People that go, oh, I listen to everything. If you listen to everything, all you need to do is listen to us.
This has been a very powerful project. And as we come to a place where the work is not done, the work is still ever present. But as it's nearing the end, I'm thinking, wow, we did something. And we didn't know if we were going to be able to do anything. I just feel so proud, you know. I think I said it already, but this group is really special, and it will never happen again the way that it happened this year with this group of people. And I think I just feel really proud. And yeah, it was emotional though. I mean, and exciting. I mean, they kept saying to me, this feels so different. This feels so different. You know, we're performing with no one in the theater. I'm asking them to dance so big with no one watching except for the four of us. And they did it, you know? So I'm happy. You know, the curtain is closed and they took their final bows, and that was it. So watching them on stage was everything to me, because I didn't know if that would ever happen this year, and it was very emotional. I cried.
I feel complete, like my senior year has been complete. Like, even if I didn't get to do anything else, prom, graduation, or whatnot, I still wanted to dance at Fort Hays at least one more time, be on the stage with the lights at least one more time. That's all I was hoping for from the beginning of the school year.
really happy I got to do something. I really thought, I'm like, there's no way that I could.
I'm mostly proud of myself for being able to like stick to something and like do good and like be around people who are also doing good.
Dance sometimes is just made to look effortless. Like, you're not meant to see the pain. You're meant to see the beauty of it. So that's something as dancers that we pride ourselves on, of making it look effortless as much as we can.
And this is the thing about dance, is it's you on the stage. Yes, you can play a character, but it's your body and your expressivity. It takes a heck of a lot of vulnerability. And that's a big ask for young people.
Even in the midst of a pandemic that we've never seen before, even in the midst of great tragedies that we have not seen before, the students at Fort Hays, the students in Columbus, the teachers, the staff, we all still rise up.
Tommy Emmanuel, thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me, Maggie.
And Accomplice 2 is out now. You didn't think you could top the other Accomplice album, but it's pretty special as well. But we're thrilled to have you here today, and we've got a lot.
Yeah, we just talked about that. I don't know if there's a time limit on when you get it in.
Okay, everyone, we are back from executive session. I want to note that Mr. Vajan and Mr. Daniels have arrived, and we will continue with our agenda.
All right, we'll go into committee operations. The first item there is to approve the A&A Committee of calendar meetings for 2024. It's similar to what we've done in the past. A couple things to note. The February meeting is on there as tentative because if we have a quorum in the January meeting and can get through all those audit reports, we don't need a February meeting. Also, the August meeting was moved up to September, or moved back to September, so it doesn't conflict with the opening of school. And the October meeting was moved to the 5th Thursday of the month, so it doesn't conflict with the Council of Great City Schools Fall Conference. We have a lot of leadership that likes to go to that, so we'd like them here at the meeting. Good idea. And then we would like to talk, I'll probably survey the committee members just to make sure that you feel your expertise is being utilized effectively. And that if we want to go to 4 meetings a year, you know, I would say quarterly, but in the fall, it doesn't seem like we have a lot of work to review because we're beginning the annual audit plan. And in the spring, we tend to have a lot. So if we had 3 meetings in the spring, you know, January to June timeframe, and then 1 in the fall, I think that would work. But I'd like to talk to everybody just to make sure that that's sufficient with your needs. So I'll be calling everybody. Any questions about the calendar meetings?
I have no questions, but I just want to piggyback a little bit on what Auditor O'Connor just said. You know, what we're trying to find is the right balance between taking advantage of your expertise and not just having meetings, you know, on this cadence because that's what we've done in the past. We're trying to be, you know, and one of the things that we've sort of floated around when we've talked about this is I'm almost wondering, and so when Kevin reaches out, I hope you can think about this as well. Like, there might be an opportunity to have several committee meetings, and then maybe 1 meeting with the board. You know, maybe we'll have 1 meeting where you come and talk to the board directly, or we have maybe when we're talking about the audit plan, or let's just think about the best way, because I think two things. One is, no meetings for meeting's sake. And the second thing is to capture the benefit of your wisdom. And so I think some part of that capturing happens in the individual conversations and your relationships and the auditor and his staff's ability to reach out to you all and say, I'm thinking about this, what do you think? The other thing is when we have these sort of more formal discussions, and I throw that into the hopper when you're having this conversation. And whether it's one of our audit meetings, we invite the whole board to come, or maybe we invite you to one of our board meetings. I don't know exactly what that would look like, and skip one of our typical meetings that we might not need.
And just a little information, I'm working on a monthly communication to you, so you stay plugged in, even though we're not meeting. You're seeing what we're doing, what initiatives we're working on. So that way, if you see something come across, you can reach out to me and say, hey, we've done this. This is how we affected change or whatever. So that way, we are benefiting from your expertise in that too.
I know from my perspective, we're here to serve the district. So whatever it takes, whatever makes sense. Sometimes these conversations just happen generically, and it's not always a planned conversation or a planned agenda. So you never know when that conversation is going to come up and you get good feedback, or we can provide that kind of feedback. So it's really, from my perspective, it's up to how often you want us to help to provide feedback on what you're doing.
Fantastic.
Yes, it's easier to have them on the calendar than find it and shorten the meeting. It's only a half hour to an hour, or not need to meet versus try to schedule something at in the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Good point.
Yeah. So.
And I would concur with what Greg said exactly. It's nice to have pre-planning, okay? If something, interaction is necessary whenever, hopefully then you can touch base.
That's weird.
I don't think it goes back live, right? Is that what it is?
We're supposed to go back live.
Right.
See, we're there. Thank you. Thank you for letting us.
That could be critical.
No, I'm serious. We have to repeat everything.
Oh, okay. So that we shouldn't be bothered by those people?
Fantastic.
Okay, we are live.
Okay, so then I guess we can vote on the calendar of meetings.
Sure.
The way it's proposed, and then I'll still reach out just to get some feedback from you guys.
Okay.
Do we need a motion?
Yes.
A motion to approve the Audit and Accountability Committee 2024 calendar of meetings.
Second.
Seeing no objection, we'll call it approved.
All righty, and then the next item is the A&A Committee calendar of activities. This is very similar to what we've done in the past. We'd like to capture any additional thoughts that you might have and things you would like added to that. With the risk management piece, I know we just have 4 listed there, but we're going to try and expand that a little bit to include an academic piece, to have student services, maybe come and talk about Infinite Campus, attendance, et cetera. So that will probably be added down the road, but I'd like to get your feedback on that at the beginning of the year.
Okay.
Any questions on that?
No, so this is something that we'll consider for the next meeting. Or you want us to vote on this now?
No, we have to approve this.
Yeah.
Okay. I just saw the draft. That was what happened.
Yeah, and again, if people have questions or comments, I can always add things to it.
Because this came in our email, didn't
Yeah.
it? That's what I thought. Okay. I saw it.
So if somebody wants to make a motion and second, and then.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any comments? No.
All righty. And then the Office of Internal Audit Report, the Path of Excellence, just an update on that. We're trying to focus on those three themes: collaboration, communication, and relationship building. So collaboration, what we're trying to do there is, we've talked about ERM, which is enterprise-wide risk management, and the board has actually expressed a desire to implement a more formal and intentional ERM the biggest problem with that is trying to stand that up as a district is a lot to take on at one time. So we thought we would try and pilot with a department.
I like that idea.
And we looked at Dr. Monica Womack, the Director of Articulated Pathways. She prepared a presentation in August that was shared with the OIA. It connected initiatives of her office to the ODE strategic plan, the district strategic priorities, and her department mission and vision statements. So we thought it was a great presentation, so we thought we'd reach out to her and see if she would be a willing partner to work on an ERM pilot project with us, and she agreed. So that pilot project is going to have two primary goals. The first goal is to educate department leadership on formal and intentional ERM concepts and activities leading to one CCS department implementing the learned concepts and activities. And this includes business objectives, business metrics, risk identification, risk assessment, risk mitigation, things like that. And then our second goal is to use the pilot experience to develop a formal ERM course curriculum and practice aids intended to be scaled to other departments, and then try and keep moving that ball. You know, maybe the first year it's one department, second year might be a couple more departments, and before you know it, you're gaining a little momentum district-wide, and maybe it's easier to stand up. So the pilot project is going to go from November to March, and there'll be a SMART evaluation completed for each of the goals. That way we make sure we're on target. If not, we can make adjustments. And Kevin Sanskowski will be taking the lead on that project with Dr. Womack.
Terrific.
So that's one of the ways we're trying to do some collaboration.
I have a question on that.
Okay?
It seems to me that, I mean, it's a terrific idea, and it sounds like a good concept. When we talk about enterprise risk, it seems to me the key there is that the risks that we're talking about is the risk that we don't achieve the goals or adhere to the guardrails. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that that's our clarity, because I could see, and that's probably some of the learning for the group that you're doing the pilot with, because they might see their risk to be they don't achieve their particular discipline or, you know, mission, as opposed to the overall mission of the organization. And so I think a big piece of what you'll be doing as you start to scale this up as an organization is getting everybody alerted to the fact that the risk is not that I don't, what's the organization that Dr. Womack's doing?
Articulated Pathways.
That I'm not articulating my pathways. The risk is that we don't achieve the goals and the guardrails. And that's going to be a mindset change for, I think, everyone in our organization. So I think that's a really good thing to start. But I just want to make sure that we have, that you all have clarity going in, because that's part of the learning that's happening. Okay, terrific.
And the thing is we have to teach them how to recognize risk coming in, because once we move on to another department, there might be things or exposures that come about in their department that they don't think fits in. But if we're trying to teach them to think a certain way, maybe they can recognize how that might impede them from meeting a district goal or guardrail.
And I would imagine at some point that'll facilitate cross-organizational conversations. Yeah, that's terrific.
Hopefully.
You know, it'd be good, Kevin, to, as you start to go out to those departments, just create, I make it up a number, a 2 or 3 page storyboard that talks about here's the guardrails, and here's our take on how we see the risk that your department has. It's not achieving the goals. And we took a first stab at it. What do you guys think? And let's work together to build it out. I think, because you're right. I think, Carol, you have a good point, because folks will go to a different avenue about what risk is.
And then so,
why it's so key that we don't drive it. We can give them some examples.
Right.
But they're the subject matter expert.
That's right. You could give them a straw person of what it looks like, and then you could prioritize those departments that have the most impact on the goals and guardrails to some that you probably don't want to spend a lot of time on, because it's not going to be high impact. So just perspective.
Yep, very good. Thank you.
love that.
And then our second item under collaboration is to promote OIA consulting or other professional services. You know, while we do assurance audits, there are other ways for us to work with management to improve processes through consulting, through agile audits. And again, just picking up the phone, calling us, asking us, hey, what would be the proper support documentation for X? And we can provide that guidance ongoing, and they don't have to just guess on their end. So Interim Treasurer Vanover and Interim COO Maurice Oldham have offered their leadership meetings for us to come and explain the different types of services that OIA can provide benefits to leadership and management. That's for the collaboration. Communication, talked about the monthly communication is going to be coming to the committee members around the 15th of every month. And then we're looking to provide a SharePoint workspace where we keep a repository of our documents. So, you know, we might have our annual audit plan out there. We might have, you know, if you look at the dashboard, there's some follow-up reports, there's some Gantt charts. If we keep all that stuff out in the workspace and give the committee members access to that workspace, and Mr. Bajan's looking at that report that is in the packet, that's, the front page is a landing page. Actually, I can walk through that with you. Well, and the landing page is set up similar to our agenda. And then as you open up each one, it has different documents that are out there, especially for the audit report. So if you get into the follow-up, you know, our follow-up report that comes to you has the recommendation in it. If you want to go back and look at the condition, if you want to look at management's response, that would be housed in that workspace. And in having my meetings with leadership, I've had a couple leadership people say, hey, that'd be great if you did one for management and leadership, you know, like have Auditing 101 when we developed the training, put that out there, an introduction to OIA, put that out there, and that way people can be directed to that workspace as management and leadership to understand what we can bring to the table and helps us promote our value to the district. So that's out there. It's under construction right now. That's why you have a hard copy. I was hoping to share it, but I didn't realize you had to publish that first in order to share it. So, and we're not to the stage where we want to publish it just yet. So that will be coming probably in January. And again, I'd love to have your thoughts if you guys have done that in the past. I'd love to learn from your experience. The other part of communication is the trainings. So the trainings, we're looking to develop our Auditing 101 for district staff to understand about the audit process, to not fear an audit. We're all here for the same purpose. And then do some training on governance, control environment, risk management, ERM, and OIA introduction. You know, if there's a new board member, new committee members, we'd like to have something out there that we can train them on what the meeting agenda is going to look like, what we do, what they can expect out of us, the different services we can offer.
Nice.
So that's communication. And then the last one is relationship building. And again, that's just the routine meetings that I have with Board of Education committee members, Board of Education members, leadership management. They've been very helpful when I've talked to everybody. Thank you all. I'll get on Tim's calendar. I know he's busy. And then just to recognize awesome work, because that goes into relationship building also. So the superintendent and Mike DeFavo have really been helpful when I've been in leadership or management meetings, providing a safe space, welcoming me or other OIA members to those meetings, which is fantastic. Dr. McNally at the last A&A meeting, we recognized her great work done, or Dr. Womack during this presentation. And then we have one other person. When we get to the dashboard, we're going to call her out for some great work also. So those are the three things for the path of excellence that we're working on going forward. The second item.
Hold on, I just want to say one quick thing. Just so you and your team know, we've been getting a lot of positive feedback on all of this work, and that, you know, things are shifting and there's a lot of constructive dialogue and thoughts about how to, approach things differently. And I just want to share my appreciation and also let you know that it's being recognized. So
really good.
thank you so much. But I mean, and among the committee members here, but also with the leadership in the district.
Good to hear. Thank you. So item 2 on that is the follow-up progress. We have a slide in the dashboard, so I'm going to pause on that one. I'll go over that in the dashboard.
Okay.
The staffing plan, on September 11th, Chief of Staff Mike DeFabo communicated to me that OIA currently has 2 positions that are active and available to be filled. If you remember, we had a conversation back on our September 7th meeting. We've been working with a recruiter from the talent department since September 22nd to get those 2 positions posted. Had a conversation with her today. She thought they would be posted today. When I came to the meeting, they weren't. But I'll keep you guys posted on where we go.
Whether they get posted.
Yep. And then just regarding OIA structure, I mean, I know the structure is going to come down to whoever fills that Chief Audit Executive chair. So I put some thoughts together. I thought I'd pick the brain of the committee members in the next couple months to try and come up with what you guys would feel would be the best structure for it. And I'd like to have a couple different plans laid out, depending on if the person who fills that has school district experience versus if not. Because if they don't have the school district experience, they might need a little higher level assistance, yeah, just to help guide them, at least initially. So those are my thoughts, but like I said, you guys are the experts, so I'd really like to pick your brain. So I'll be in contact in the next couple months for that.
Kevin, do you know, say within an hour radius or so, 2 hours, how many districts have internal audit team members? Is it just the big C's?
No, Dayton has one also. Yeah. Dayton, Cincinnati, Cleveland, and Columbus are the 4 that I'm aware of.
Yeah, you might find it valuable just to, either you're one of your teams to reach out to some folks on LinkedIn and say, hey, we maybe have an opening coming up, or just talk to them.
Okay.
You never know.
Yeah.
Bigger opportunity, bigger challenge.
Absolutely, yes. Excellent, thank you for that. All righty, and the last item is the dashboard. So we'll go over that. I'll start on page 3, as always. So that is the, that's our current status. I am going to flip it up a little bit or switch it up. That middle column, the follow-ups and the agile audits are going to become projects going forward. I'm going to move those over to the projects. The only thing on the audit side is going to be the annual audit plan that came out of the committee, approved by the board, and then any adjustments or things we add to the plan. So that way it'll be clear in audits exactly what we're looking at, and then everything else will be a project. So we have one audit that's complete, and we have one audit in the field work stage. That's the College and Career Workforce Readiness Audit. So we met with management during the entrance conference to discuss any issues they'd like to consider or us to consider in putting that audit together. We had some tentative objectives, and then we're putting together the announcement memo, and we'll get that out to everybody as part of our November 15th communication. So you can see all the objectives laid right out in that document.
Okay, good.
And just know when you get that, we've already communicated all that to management and taken their consideration into consideration, any comments they have. We have 2 audits in the planning stage, and here's an example. You'll see the program evaluation audit is in the planning stage. Well, actually, when we went to meet with management, we realized that that process is not as mature as we thought it would be for us to do an audit. So we backed off, and we're going to make that one to be determined and touch back with that process owner after the first of the year to see how they're coming with that. He said there might be some goals and guardrails changing, might refresh the strategic plan, and those would all affect us doing an audit. So if we went in now and did one, I'm not sure it'll have much value if we didn't wait for that to occur. The one agile audit is in a fieldwork stage. That is the threat assessment team. we're just going in November, and we're going to verify that all those members have had the proper training, and it was added to the emergency operation plan for the different schools. And then one agile audit is in planning stage, and then the 4 follow-ups are from previous external reviews and audits, and those are all being planned currently also. And then on the project side, we have 2 projects that are completed and 2 are in the planning stage.
Kevin, not to belabor, just one thought. So on the program evaluation, do you think there's general awareness, say at Dr. Chapman's level, that that group doesn't have sufficient activities that you folks can audit? It's not ready yet. So where I was going to go was, would there be a benefit of putting out just a one or 2 paragraph summary that says, alerts the right people that, hey, we're going to perform work, we all agree to come in at a later date, and here's the reason why.
That's a good idea.
If you need to raise awareness, that's a good opportunity.
Okay, I like that.
It's not meant to get anybody or I got you, but just
let them know it's on our radar.
Communicating.
And offer, we can offer some advisory services to help you in the interim to, measure twice, cut once, to compliant by design, all the right.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. Then on page 4, there are a few additions to the annual audit plan. The first one, the food service audit, this was a high risk last year, and it was planned to be an outsourced audit, but when we met with management, we found out they were in the midst of implementing a new point of sale system called Titan. So we felt that our services might be better if we pushed that audit into this year. We allowed them to get up and running. We didn't want to be there right when school started. But now that a couple months have passed and we've been communicating with their management, it's going to be a good time to come in and do a few things. Look at the necessary governance and controls and capturing data from the new point of sale and utilizing this data to measure activity, effectiveness, and efficiency. Identify any risk of the new point of sale process just from outside. We can also, while we're in there, any open recommendations we can follow up for validation, and they do have 6 of them ready for us. And then any issues that management would like our assistance. If they're trying to get certain things done and they need a little bit more expertise, we might be able to perform a research function for them to look at that. So we felt it was good to get in there early as opposed to allowing them to go a whole year, and if there are gaps or exposures, they're not identified. So that's why we wanted to add that one.
So you said there was a new point of sales system put in. Were you involved in that process?
No, we were not. We did offer in the spring that we could be available, but they
thought it was a good opportunity, yeah.
And again, that's where we want to get. Once we're involved in those sessions up front, we know we've cracked the nut and we're ready to go, that they're trusting us, and that's, again, our main goal is to be a trusted partner. So, on the other 2 partnerships, we're going to call them, for ESSER review, we have a plan to spend $113 million in the next 11 months because that's what we have left. And $62 million has been encumbered, so that will also be spent in the next 11 months. So we felt an opportunity to partner with management from a quarterly to monthly check-in on the use of those dollars, and proper documentation exists for external audits, because we know the auditor state's going to come in and identify that as a major program, guarantee it. So we want to be available to that. We are ensuring that the appropriate support documentation is being obtained and maintained, because again, if we have people, and I've had this in my career a lot when I've done grants, if you have ESSER funds or ESSER funded people working on these activities and they're keeping everything in a drawer and they leave because ESSER runs out, when the auditor state comes in to look,
Right.
where are the
There's gonna
records?
be a time gap there.
So just making sure that those records are in an easily retrievable manner, that everybody knows where those are, will help us stay away from findings. So that's why we thought that would be a good partnership, working with management rather than an audit. So,
And how is that, so that's going well in terms of that partnership?
well, I'm asking for that right now, so we haven't reached out yet. I have a meeting tomorrow with Catherine Mosier to go over this partnership. The next one is purchasing work. And again, given results of some reviews of purchasing documents across the district, follow-up documentation has been provided to me, and the decentralized purchasing process here at the district, there seems to be an opportunity to partner with management to review purchasing procedures that department staff across the district are aware of, just making sure that they know where to dot the i's and cross the t's. Because right now, we're getting things that come in that might need a little bit of follow-up work. So if we partner with purchasing staff that can go in and explain, this is where all the purchasing procedures are, this is where you find X, Y, and Z, and then we can say, hey, these are the things that we've found in our reviews of purchasing, so trying not to trip them up on the same things that we found in other departments. That's what our goal is.
Yes, I get a little confused with the goals and guardrails. I mean, why are you not mandated to be part of that? I mean, I just don't know, maybe I don't understand the school district, but it seems like you should be involved in that process so that, you know, you're going to achieve the goals that you want to get achieved, and you shouldn't have to ask to be a part of that partnership. Seems like you would be, as a process, part of it.
And I think
am I confused? I don't know.
No, I think that's where we want to get. We want to get that seat at the table to work with management to do that.
Wait, does that have to come down from the board? I mean, how does that get?
Yeah, now I want to make sure I understand the question. Are you
Go to the
referring
top.
to the
Yeah.
program evaluation? Or what are we talking about?
Well, he's asking it to be part of that at the table so that you can get certain procedures put in place that, you know, like with ESSER and this purchasing partnership, that you know, those things are being handled correctly, but it's like you're almost asking to be a part of the process instead of being required to be part of the process. I mean, why do you have internal audit if you're not making them part of your ultimate goals,
now I understand.
your guardrails or whatever for these other peripheral parts of your organization, you know, be in line with what you're trying to achieve.
And I definitely see it getting much better as far as being included in things. And I think that's a leadership thing. I think you have the advantage of 3 new leaders in the district. So that we're all working together and we're meeting regularly. So I really think that needs to be the message going forward. And that way maybe it's just understood that internal audit will be represented.
Right. I think, let me just say what I think. I understand the kind of context of this. And then maybe, and to double check to make sure I'm understanding correctly. If it's an official audit, that's part of our audit plan. That's essentially, the board approves the audit plan, and that is the board talking. These are the things that shall be audited this year. And then there's another activity that your team engages in that we've referred to maybe as assist audit or advisory or something. And that's what this is.
These last 2, yes.
Right. So I think maybe, and I don't know, I have no opinion about whether this is good or bad, but I think that's the context. So these sorts of things are not part of the official approved audit plan, but these are sort of additional activities that are constructive and appropriate for audit, but not. So I think to become the board dictating, at least as we're doing this right now, would be to move it into the audit plan. But I don't.
And I think sometimes
that might
organizations
not
get
be
confused about what an internal audit. They always think it's after the fact.
Right.
But it's actually there to assist in your, you know, making sure that your protocols are being followed or the things are being done in accordance to what your ultimate goals are. So it's not just, you can go in later on and audit it and make sure that it's actually being done. But part of it is actually providing the framework for making sure you're having the success you're wanting to have.
So
is that something?
How would we correct that so that it's not and I don't know that we need to, if you guys are all working well together at the moment.
We are.
Yeah. But in terms of a procedural or content, governance mechanism, we need to think about that.
Yeah, probably just need, make sure, you know, at the superintendent's cabinet, that she encourages her team to reach out as they're doing new things, putting in new processes, that there's resources that are here to help you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems like it'd be a natural part.
Right. And I think 2 or 3 iterations of having those conversations, it'll just keep growing what's already started to happen. Because the risk you run of mandating it, then that takes a different connotation. That's not what you want.
Right. Yeah, because I think we seem to be chugging along in a good direction right now, but I want to understand the nuance of Tim's question, though, because I think it's important.
Just trying to make sure, because I'm hearing the ask, you know, I want to be at the table.
But some of this might be trying to remediate or
It's almost like putting a committee together. It's like, okay, these are great people that you have to be at the table as part of the process.
Right.
You don't have to mandate it, but, best practices, more to speak.
I think, Tim, one of the things Kevin and I talked about was the education and awareness of internal audit services to the rest of the organization that he's addressing and covered earlier. I think that's a big part of it, that the administration is aware of, hey, we're not just here to come and do an audit to you, we're here to do things with you, right? And to help you not, right? Like you said, as auditor state comes in, right? We don't want them to find things, right? We want to have all our things, right? All our T's crossed and I's dotted, right?
And, you know, actually, I like the word mandate, just from the standpoint it's directly specific in that direction. Even though they're working fine together, but let's make it.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking about coming up with something that reflects that they're working fine together, and that becomes the expectation going forward.
Yeah, I think,
it's stronger to some extent.
Yeah, I'm almost thinking, we need to think about that. I'm almost thinking that a board policy.
Yep.
That's what I wrote down, board policy.
Right. Okay, so let's put that on our list.
Here's the things that are working really well together right now. We think this is working, this is the way we want to go, therefore we're going to make it into a policy.
Right.
Yeah.
So we just continue to encourage more and more of it.
Absolutely.
Thank you for bringing this up. Thanks, Tim, because that's really helpful. Now that it feels like it's working right, let's get it in.
Let's not make it an option.
Yeah.
Right. Be part of the culture.
Yep.
So pages 6, 7, and 8 are just something new I put in there. You can give me your feedback on those. I'm going to go over page 6. You can see, if you look down the left-hand side, you can see like the food service audit, which is in very light yellow. So you'll see a blue arrow there. That's when we would plan to do the audit during that time. And then the orange arrow in May is when we would bring it to A&A. Okay. Just so everybody understands, hey, this is our workload right now. This is when we're intending on bringing things. And you can see why that February meeting would be crucial if we didn't have a January. We have 4 audits coming in January. So if we don't have the January, we didn't want to have those 4 and 3 more in March.
Got it.
That's why we put that February one on as tentative. And then I broke out the 3 pages. There's one for audits, there's one for follow-up and agile audits, and then there's one for projects. So I tried to do it chronologically so you can start at the top and see how things are flowing. One thing down there at the bottom, you'll see like safety and security is the blue arrow coming across. Well, that'll be presented in next October, because given what we want to do is finish our audit in June and then have 3 months or so to work on reporting and getting things together. So that's why that one is listed as October of next year. But like I said, feel free to look at that and provide feedback if you'd like to see that a different way.
Okay.
So then page 10 is the current status of recommendations by the department. OIA ran an updated follow-up report from our teammate software on September 15th to provide the most current data to management. And we shared those reports to management, all the department chiefs. It actually had 285 open recommendations, which was up from 267. The last time we showed it was January of 2023 data. So on page 10, you can see the left-hand column is September, and the right-hand column is October. So we ran one on October 23rd and compared the data. So some things to note. You'll see the right-hand column says meetings this period. OIA staff met with 11 of the 18 departments to ensure they understood the recommendations, to update the status of the recommendation, to the correct business contact was identified, and answer any questions management had about those recommendations. So specifically, as you compare the data, you can see, and I apologize, I should have totaled each column. I only totaled the first two. Implemented not verified went from 50 in September of 2023 to 62 in October, which tells me management was moving things that were in progress over to implemented not verified. And again, that is an OIA task where we verify that stuff. So that's good. So in progress, the next column there, in progress recommendations went from 235 to 208. So again, showing that management was moving things from in progress to implemented, not verified.
Okay.
We had one audit with 10 recommendations that was issued during that month. So really, when you take the 285 and add the 10 for the additional audit report that was issued, takes you to 295 open recommendations. And you can see in October of 2023, we had 270. So management and OIA was able to resolve 25 open recommendations in the 1 month. Now, again, we can't promise that kind of work because there's a lot of low-hanging fruit, obviously. But still, it's great traction that management was available for us to come in and talk to them. And OIA, my staff did a great job making themselves available to work with management.
Yeah, it seems like you've been busy.
Yes.
Thank you.
So our next full audit report covering follow-ups will occur in March of 2024 to give management another 5 months to make progress. And we'll continue to partner with management to get that done.
Okay, so just to be clear that I understand what this is, which I think I do. This is the process of identifying what are still real outstanding recommendations versus this is cleaning up that chart.
It is, but there is still other pieces because there are some in the works where management wants to accept the risk.
Right.
So again, they're preparing that documentation.
So that's in process.
Correct.
Accepting the risk, and then others that have just been overcome by events.
Yeah, and
Has
again,
that been cleaned up a little, or is that still hovering?
It's still hovering.
Okay.
And there's things, as Greg says, NA resolved by other means, that's important, and management's looking at those.
Okay, so these numbers can be coming down as that process continues?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, thank you.
That's our goal.
Not, right, okay. Not just because it's been implemented, but because of these other ways they can get.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
We can verify it, or it can be classified as NA.
But they come off the list.
Yes.
Terrific. Thank you.
Page 11 is, again, just that same slide. We've taken a couple things off there that are no longer needed. The first three, the Council of Great City Schools HR review, transportation review, and the purchasing review, we have follow-ups that will address each one of those and work with management. And then penetration testing, we have Satya from our staff working with IT to resolve those issues.
Okay.
Page 13 is just our staff PD in September and October. A couple things to note on here is the bolded items, report card overview, and school safety audits, assessing and enhancing your campus security. I bolded those because those are subject matters that we're trying to get training in. We do a great job getting the auditing and accounting training. We want to get subject matter training.
Nice.
So as we find those, we're going to highlight those for you. Increases our value to the district. And then 14 is just not non-audit activities, but I did want to call out the AED training. AED stands for Automated External Defibrillator.
Right.
And Terry Burchek from our staff identified an ORC section regarding AED training, and she realized she had not had it. But the ORC section said all school-based employees had to have, not school-based, I'm sorry, all district employees had to have the training. So we reached out to Delrika Grubbs, the Manager of Development and Strategic Initiatives, and she said that public school works training was set up for school-based employees only. So there was no training assigned for non-school-based employees. So she checked with contacts at Public School Works, and they agreed the training should be set up for all district employees unless specifically exempted by ORC. So she got it taken care of in just a couple days, getting that uploaded to everybody, and right now,
Terrific.
everybody, all non-school-based employees do have that training. So I wanted to give her kudos.
Yes.
Terry kudos also.
Thank you.
But Ms. Grubbs also, because she turned that around so quick to make sure we were in compliance.
Yeah, and not, I know we're at time, but not, it's an interesting question where that got missed at. And is there a root cause someplace within the compliance organization that was overlooked or that wasn't found? So just.
Yes, absolutely.
Right, and the pin there is what, looking at what our compliance organization
Right.
is.
And what else might
Or-
we be missing? Or what's the change management process as regulations change?
Absolutely.
That's a good point.
And then the last page is page 16. And you'll notice 2 of those senior segment managers were turned to green because it is going to be posted. I feel confident it's going to be posted, hopefully in the next day or so. Good.
All right, terrific.
And that concludes my report. I'll be glad to take any questions anybody has.
I think we kind of asked as we went. Okay, I think that's it.
Motion?
I need a motion on the dashboard because there are things that will go to our annual audit plan.
Okay.
So if we could vote on that, have a
So
motion.
moved.
Second.
Second to approve the dashboard?
Hey, Ms.
Seeing no
Becker?
yeah, approved, yes.
Okay. Ms. Vera?
Yes.
Mr. Grant?
Yes.
Mr. Vajan?
Yes.
Mr. Jordan?
Yes.
Mr. Daniel?
Yes.
Motion carries. And we're
Motion
Okay.
to adjourn?
So move.
Second?
Seeing no objections, we are adjourned. Thank you all very much. Sorry we kept you to the final minute and then some.
And then I just have one last thing, knowing this is your last meeting as chair. I want to thank you for your commitment and leadership over the years
It's my last
to the
meeting.
Audit and Accountability Committee.
Aren't we having one in November?
No, our next meeting is in January.
Oh, okay.
So we just want to thank you for your leadership over the years to Audit and Accountability Committee, the Office of Internal Audit, and the many others who have benefited from your direction and hard work.
Well, thank
Here's a
you.
card for you, and
Oh.
Terry has some stuff for you.
Oh,
And
my
there's
goodness
cupcakes
gracious.
in the back, if anybody would like some cupcakes.
Here, here.
Yes.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much.
Hey, Kevin.
Oh, my God, they're beautiful.
We've got some training.
These are stunning.
You realize this is your last audit?